you like us, you ever feel like you're in the need of a little pep in your step? Something to boost your self at 3 in the afternoon, blow your hair back.
3.
It's easy to feel that dip of energy later in the day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a crash for some of us. So how can we get that much needed afternoon boost through our diet? Nutritionist and exercise scientist Amelia Phillips joins us live in studio to answer that very question. Good morning to you.
Morning.
Why do we feel that slump around 3 o'clock every day?
Yeah, well, the good news is that it is natural. So our beautiful, delicate circadian rhythm actually has 2 dips during the day. One of the dips, of course, is when we sleep at night, but the second dip that we don't hear a lot about is actually around 7 to 9 hours after we wake up. So that's that afternoon dip. So a little bit of a dip is okay.
Time.
Yeah, the Italians, the Greeks, they got it right.
They embrace this.
Exactly, but there's a lot of factors in our lifestyle that can turn that little dip into a crash. And that's things like dehydration, overeating, very poor blood sugar control, where you get on a bit of a sugar roller coaster throughout the day. Those kind of things can really make a difference.
Are there foods that are worse, so when we hit the, like, going into a dip, that's going to make the dip worse?
Yeah, absolutely. So foods that are foods that are very high in carbohydrates, because what that does is that gives you a blood sugar spike, and what goes up must come down, and that can make a really big difference. Also, overeating as well. If food and digesting our food creates quite a lot of tax on our body, and so a lot of people are walking around in a state of what we call overfed, and that's going to contribute to it as well. Also, excess caffeine does too.
So what about our lifestyle factors? How can that contribute to this?
Yeah, so they can play a really big make a really big difference. So, for example, sleep and sleep quality. We have 80% of people are walking around at the moment with undiagnosed sleep apnea, and actually, it's quite alarming. But actually, today Apple Watch has just released a new app where you can actually track your sleep apnea, and you can be alerted if you have sleep apnea. So that's something that's going to make it so much easier. I use an app called Auto Sleep, which means
that one too,
you're going to get notified if you have sleep apnea. So poor quality sleep can be a really big factor. And also, as we age, we find it harder to get through the whole day without that little bit of a dip as well.
Right, but I want to give us a little bit of a break here. Life is hard.
Yeah.
We work really hard. It's cost of living crisis. We've got kids. Fatigue is a real thing here.
Yeah.
Is it something that we should fight it, or should we try and embrace it a little bit? Give ourselves a power nap.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, a 20-minute power nap is fantastic if you can. But the problem is, if we're not living in European countries where siestas are part of the norm, you're at your desk. You're going to have to be like George Costanza from Seinfeld and crawl onto your desk and have a bit of a sleepy power nap. But I feel like if it's just that natural circadian dip, go with it. But if you are listening to some of these things we're saying and you're going, oh yes, maybe I have overeaten, I've had a bit too much of a heavy or carbohydrate-rich lunch, pulling those levers and putting some of those tips in place can make a massive difference in reducing that crash in
Maybe
the
go for a walk instead or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some of my top tips, for example, move is one of them. So actually it feels counterintuitive.
So when you're feeling that slump, go and move.
Yeah, if you're
vitamin D.
tired, actually getting up and moving around. I do my meetings, for example, in the afternoons. I have a standing desk, make myself stand up when I usually get that slump. But then things like starting your day with a savoury breakfast. This is a really powerful one because you're not getting on the roller coaster at the start of the day. You're actually getting on the merry-go-round of blood sugar, which is a much nicer experience. The other really important thing is if you're a coffee lover, and I know you guys are coffee lovers.
100%.
Don't shoot the messenger, but I do just want to briefly say that coffee has a half-life, okay? And usually what happens is as that morning coffee or 2 or 3 is wearing off, it's dipping at the same time as your circadian dip. So you're getting a double dip. And then, of course, you want to reach for more caffeine. So what I would suggest you do is have dark chocolate-covered nuts and have, have a green tea or a matcha latte instead.
You had me at the dark chocolate covered nuts.
Perfect.
Yes.
Good.
Okay. Oh, we love your work, Amelia. Thank you.
No worries.
Always good to see you.
Get a bowl of those.
No slump for us.
Fantastic. No, we never slump. Next, extra entertainment. Lewis Capaldi's back.
I swear to God I'll survive if it kills me too.
He's so good, isn't he? Your first full taste of his new tune is coming up.